Karen was a woman obsessed with the intoxicating scent of authority. To her, the Homeowners Association wasn't a community service, it was a kingdom. She thrived on enforcing bogus rules and stacking fines on homeowners like trophies. She would quote bylaws that no one remembered approving, smiling through every argument, her ego fueled by intimidation. I had already planned my exit. My house was half-packed, and I was counting down the days until I could leave the circus behind. I didn't care about the neighborhood anymore, but Karen had one last grand finale planned, and it was dripping with arrogance. It started when Karen unilaterally announced that trucks were banned. She claimed they reduced aesthetics and disrupted visual harmony. Overnight, flyers appeared, and warning stickers bloomed on windshields like a plague. I didn't even own a truck, so I stayed invisible, watching from the sidelines as neighbors whispered in fear. Karen mistook my silence for weakness. She began hovering near my driveway, sniffing for violations that didn't exist. When she couldn't find a blade of grass out of place, it irritated her deeply. She was a hunter looking for prey, and she was about to find it in the worst possible way. The unexpected visitor. A few weeks later, my old high school friend Jay came to visit. Jay was the kind of guy who never announced his importance. He showed up in jeans and a hoodie, looking like the same kid I knew years ago. Unfortunately for the neighborhood, Jay drove a Ford truck. We were inside catching up when a scream sliced through the air. Then came the sound, metal hitting metal. It wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate, violent crack. We rushed outside to find Karen in a full meltdown, gripping a metal baseball bat. She was screaming about illegal vehicles and consequences. Before we could speak, she swung again, denting the door of Jay's truck. "Ma'am, what is the problem?" Jay asked, calm but firm. Karen laughed in his face. "This truck is a violation. I have authority over visitors, and I am enforcing the law." She kept swinging, chipping paint and cracking glass while neighbors gathered, recording the madness on their phones. I dialed 911 with shaking fingers. Karen actually cheered. "Yes, call them! They'll deal with this trash," she yelled. Jay warned her one last time. "If you continue, you will regret this for the rest of your life." That sentence detonated her ego. Screaming about her position and board authority, Karen swung the bat sideways and struck Jay across the shoulder. The street went silent. A collective gasp went up. Jay stumbled back, and Karen, seeing the sirens approaching, immediately dropped the bat and clutched her chest, faking a heart attack to play the victim. The mayor and the handcuffs. 2 police cruisers screeched to a halt. Karen launched into a rehearsed rant about defiant residents and HOA policy. The officers listened, but one of them kept squinting at Jay. When Jay handed over his ID, the officer's face changed instantly. He spoke quietly into his radio, and the atmosphere turned ice cold. The officer turned to Karen. "Did you know this man is the mayor of this city?" Karen's face drained of color. Her mouth opened and closed, but no sound came out. The handcuffs snapped shut. She was arrested on the spot for felony assault, harassment, and destruction of property. The aftermath. The fallout was total. Body cam footage went viral, and the HOA board resigned in a panic by sunrise. Jay refused special treatment, letting the legal system take its full course. The lawsuits were ruthless. Jay's team filed for damages, but then the floodgates opened. Dozens of other residents sued for years of retaliatory fines and abuse. An audit of the HOA funds revealed even more rot, and the entire organization was placed under state administration. The final tally for Karen: she paid for the truck repairs and Jay's medical costs. She lost her retirement cushion in a massive settlement. She was sentenced to probation, anger management, and community service. A permanent restraining order barred her from the neighborhood she once ruled. On the day I finally moved out, I saw her from a distance, smaller, quieter, and stripped of the power she craved. She had finally learned the one rule she tried to ignore. Authority without restraint always collects interest.